Welcome in, everyone. Flow and charts. If you're new to joining us, we just look at option flow, Periscope, market tide, take some trades if anything is set up for us. Kind of a lower volume, choppier day today, so we'll see if we can squeeze in the full hour. But yeah, flow's been pretty quiet again for the most part of the day. We'll start with Periscope, and actually, we'll start with market tide, then go to Periscope. Then we'll have that update. Actually, I lied. So yeah, just sitting right now, we're sitting on that 74.50 here, sitting right between the two. Get out of my way there. Two positive gamma spots there, and that negative gamma. So it seems like we might just kind of hang out here for right now. We'll see if we get a good update here in a couple of minutes. Obviously, a massive move up already today. Market tide again, pretty simple here. Very bullish day. Tons of net volume on the call side. Ask side call premiums absolutely leading the way. Tesla and Nvidia, Google are your three main contributors to the market tide here. Put premiums pretty flat here. If anything materializes and pops up here, that would be kind of my only chance to see a possible short there. But hey, I don't know if you guys were watching Whale Watch earlier, but man, my last stop out there, I got hit on my futures there. This was my entry here for actually sorry right here for some longs. I was buying the futures there. I had my stop set right there. That wick got me, and look at that move I missed out onto the upside. Just absolutely brutal miss there. That wick got me, and oh, that was enough to call the show at that point. But yeah, market tide still extremely bullish there. Periscope, we'll see how that update looks here in about a second or so. We'll hang out here actually for a minute because we should get that update here. I would like to see that update live. So we'll see what that goes. What's up, Pipsy? Yeah, glad to see everybody kind of funneling in. There's a little slower day there, volume-wise and everything. We'll kind of go over everything here in a minute or so once we get our Periscope update. I'd like to see them maybe potentially. Ooh, so big purple bar here, positive gamma here. Seems like we're just gonna probably stick here. There's not really much more market maker positioning up there. We can after we can kind of do a run through again there, but yeah, seems like we're gonna stick at that 74.50 there. I am kind of keeping an eye on tomorrow's expiration a little bit there. Tons of positive gamma up at that 75.15 up to that 75.30 and 75.25. There is a lot of upside positive gamma for tomorrow already, so I am keeping an eye on that for sure. But let's pop this back to the 0 day. Yeah, I'm wondering if people are expecting a deal with all the CEOs going with Trump to China there. So I mean, you have Nvidia, Tesla, um, Visa was one. There's a handful of CEOs going over there. So I am maybe somebody's thinking of some sort of deal. I mean, I wouldn't assume. Why else would you be going unless you're trying to come up with some sort of deal? I mean, that's wouldn't make sense to me to go and come back with nothing there. But um, yeah, market tide's still bullish there. Yeah, I want to look at that sector flow. It was pretty light after. Yeah, I mean we're only sitting at 26 million there on SPY there, and again, just for some context, look at how light that volume is. Oops, look at how light our volume day is so far there. I mean, it's just very light, slow moving there, and oh man, just what a rally, what a rally. Um, yeah, flow wise, we were looking at these on Whale Watch here. Yeah, flow is just, I mean, not a ton there. Not a ton. These FRMIs just kind of hit here. I mean, just kind of looking throughout the day there. I mean, just lots of multi legs. Just kind of not the best fills. These cores 115.27, but it's just really long dated. I don't want to overwhelm everybody with tons of long dated stuff, but I mean, 200 days, most people aren't really looking to sit in a trade for, that long. Everybody kind of wants to see those profits kind of hit now. We can take a peek at these there. Some of these I missed during whale watch there. Yeah, unless it's Nokia. Yeah, and speaking of Nokia, I'm gonna jump ship here quick. Those these stupid 918 calls. Just I mean, and this is what I always talk about too with that, that drawdown on kind of longer dated stuff here. This whale wasn't at 118. These came all the way down to 50s. Like if you're patient enough and you can find a good spot on a chart for a pullback, you can capture a way bigger move like this whale. Yes, this whale's green now, 118, trading up at 150. I mean, they're up 15, 20% or so. But if you got a discounted entry on something like that, that is a big significant move that you could have captured there. And again, that's always with that longer dated stuff too. So I mean, you just keep eyes on that longer dated stuff. You typically can get a better entry on something like that. And then also, this one not the flow's starting to get a little muddy there. I mean, 511 yesterday we had 18,000, not yesterday, sorry, Monday, 18,000 contracts traded there. We had a drop in open interest, so somebody else is holding some contracts. So again, it's just starting to get a little muddy there. Obviously, Nokia getting a ton of flow, and that 91820 call as well too. Just this looks like probably another big exit up there. Yeah, I mean, again, just that drawdown on that longer term flow, you typically can find a better entry there, but back up it is, and I cut those stupid Amazon calls too, and I know Amazon's up today. I don't even want to look at it. I'm annoyed with Amazon, but yeah, these cores puts here. Let's just see how they kind of look. And again, I mean, with that really long dated stuff, you usually might have to hold it for an earnings period or two. I'm not a big fan of that, but let's just kind of see. Yeah, not really looking like we're getting much context in here. So that's kind of our first. Let's just do this. Oops. Okay, we'll leave it at 10, whatever. Nope, we'll go to 100. See if we can see that earlier flow there. So, okay, it looks like that is going to be part of the first trade there. So, I mean, yeah, not really any big context in that flow. I mean, IV stays up. Spot is filling with ask. Again, these coming in about 38 minutes into the session there. So, getting pretty long term. Anything can happen in that amount of time. But yeah, just kind of looking through everything, and feel free, if you guys see something when I'm on Whale Watch as well too, feel free to ping me in the chat. I can always check that chat and see if you got something you need me to take a peek at real quick. Obviously it's hard to manage Discord and do market tide updates and do everything at once, but man, these HPEs, what a move on those, 6% in the money. How'd these look today? Yeah, just not a ton of context when it comes in, unless we have something before. Let's go back. And for those that were hanging out all day yesterday too, we were touching on Apple at the end of the session there. So, okay, yeah, it kind of looks like maybe this is the end. Okay, 79. Okay, so that is, so 96.62. Let's just kind of look here. Yeah, it looks like that was kind of the first amount of trades there. So you wouldn't have really got anything super, again, would have probably went in that risky flow, that short dated there, filling it essentially the ask there. But yeah, if you hung out, I gotta go check it. Pull it up here. Apple, that analysis we did on that right towards the end of the session there. Again, we looked at those net call premiums just absolutely spiking. There was the one contract, and I believe, let me see, I got it over here on Twitter. The Twitverse here. Give me 1 second. It was the 529 300 call. So M1's not in here, but oops. If I could type properly, that would help. But this one, I told him to double check that open interest on this. So again, let's go back to yesterday. So look at all that volume there. Again, a lot of that was ask side volume there. And again, the caution doesn't just because it's the ask doesn't necessarily mean it's always being bought. We had 13,000 contracts traded, just a small drop in open interest. This is all contracts changing hands, volume changing hands intraday. You can't even see where an exit is, an entry is, anything. I mean, it looks like it's good, but again, just always pay attention, especially if it's those multiple big volume candles like that. But so if you would have looked at these in real time, you would have saw that open interest drop and probably wouldn't have took those contracts. But again, I've did that 5 times today where I close that tab where I'm looking at something. Um, I can't click. Jeez. Um, yeah, that net call premium there. I mean, just last 14 sessions, massive amounts of net call premium coming in there. The gamma is what really stuck out to us in that stream yesterday there. That 300 strike there, the heaviest net gamma on the call side there, heaviest net gamma overall, and we were targeting that 515 expiration there. So I mean, again, multiple data points. Now that flow didn't carry over, so you didn't really have any flow to kind of go off of, but just kind of using other data, all that stuff. Oh, we are up. Yeah, still up about 1.5%. Okay, we're getting a lot of digging, so let's go see what's going on here. And if you guys got anything you want me to look at, oh, these FRMIs are getting smashed here. Let's take a peek here. 155% out of the money, trading at $5. That's funny. So this 9,000 size coming in here. I am not a huge fan of these little movers, but let's just kind of see. I see that IV dropping in here. I don't like that. What's our price doing? Our price is going up. Yeah, not a fan of seeing that price go up and that IV dropping. This is, again, I'll throw that in that risky flow, but 155% out of the money on essentially a penny stock, probably, just I would treat it with a grain of salt. There again doesn't necessarily mean that the flow isn't going to work out, but let me just pop this in that channel here quick. Yeah, whale watch is fun, but man, I get distracted from the day for a big chunk of that. All right, let's see. IV decreases. Let's see, slower mover. Yeah, and there's people that like those slower movers too there. So, all right, let's keep going down the table here. Actually, I want to see if there's anything else on FRMI today. Yeah, just that big one there. Some other kind of, maybe that's 115.27. See, like these are a little more respectable there, where they're 27% out of the money versus 155. These do have some open interest on them though, so let's just kind of take a peek there. Yeah, hard to know what's what on that. Would want to double check that open interest tomorrow. Man, we're just kind of popping there. Gamma on this here. Let's just do a little. Yeah, tons of heavy positive gamma. That gamma does favor that call side, especially looks like that 6 strike there, so that would give you, a little bit more 10 cents. So on a $5 stock is a nice little gain. Yeah, they like that 515 and that 618 expiration. So yeah, keep an eye on that one. That's not a potentially horrible setup there. Yeah, this is your biggest net call premium in at least 14. We had a ton back there too. Interesting. All right, let's look at TTWO. Let's take a peek here. Alright, where did my contract lookup go? Just closing all these tabs. I have too many tabs open half of the time. Oh, and GD. I was like, why is it not pulling it up? Okay, alright, I got it. I was like, why is it not pulling it up there? Alright, TTWO, and then GDX. So these, okay, we got the 618 to 290 call here. So a lot of kind of previous open interest. Let's just kind of go back and take a peek and make sure it's potentially related, not related. So we got 3,200. All right, I just want to do a kind of scan through the numbers here. So it looks like most of that started coming in on 3.2. Okay, it looks like that carried over, carry over, carry over. Yeah, it would not surprise me. I would, just to be safe, double check that open interest, because it almost looks like this was a position build, because all of that volume was carrying over and turning into open interest. So I would double check that there. I mean, we're trading at 190 here. 213 was the high there, actually 265. But you know, if they actually average down here, if this is the same person, again, just kind of speculating here. If this is a position and they were kind of just slowly building that there, I mean, they would have got that average down significantly. So I mean, I would double check open interest on this. Let's just look at our candle here and see how it looks. So I do like the flow though. A nice IV spike there. Spot is filling its ask. We do overlap earnings in 8 days, but let's just follow this here. So small little drop there. Yeah, pretty wide bid ask spread there, but filling a cent under the ask looks good. Yeah, I mean I would read this as a buy to open if that volume today carries over. That would kind of be my confirmation on that one. We can come back and take a peek at this one tomorrow. I'm just gonna pop these in the chat here just to we can revisit them. Oh, I can't even spell revisit, man. All right, there we go. Yeah, that doesn't look like a bad one flow wise there. I'd assume it's probably gonna carry over there. Just my guess on it there. Do we have Let's see what else we got on this name. I almost closed that tab again too. I know you guys saw that. TTWO. So I can close that one. Thing else here. Maybe that 65260 call. This one is definitely an opening position. 724 contracts against 12 open. Let's just see how it looks though. So 5. Okay, so this is pretty much our first day. 6260. 54, 1, not a big deal. Oh, excuse me. I'd probably lean buy to open on these. There's not really too much context on this one. IB just stays up. We don't really have anything to look at the beginning. This is the beginning trade there. And these coming in little in the afternoon there. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably lean buy to open on those. Let's check here. Also that 918-220 call. This, let's see, so 250. Let's just double check that against that open interest. So like here, I mean, you got 265 and you got roughly about 264 there. Would double check that open interest. Again, couple scenarios with this one. You see that open interest increase by roughly, 230, 240-ish or so. You see that open interest stay the same, so that means this opener here pass these off and somebody else is holding those there. Otherwise, you could see this maybe drop. This dropped about 200 plus or so there. That well got out at the ask there. So a couple scenarios on that one there to see what happens. How's our gamma look? I'm guessing the gamma's probably bullish on it. Yeah, positive. Lots of positive gamma on that. Your net gamma. So this one's a little more tricky there because you do have a lot of net gamma on the call side of things, specifically that 232.5, but you do have some on the put side as well. How about our expirations? So I would say short term though, short maybe mid-term there, especially that 515 has your highest amount of net gamma on it, followed by your 522. A little on that 618, then you see some on that 918 for the put side of things there. Favors call side on everything here, but just kind of one data point there. Yeah, I would Anything else? Yeah, this is just that. This is kind of all we really have today. Yeah, and this is already kind of up a little bit. 191 actually might be, what do we close at, 2 there, so not up significantly. Yeah, this is one I'd keep an eye on for sure, that 618 290 call there. Just double check that open interest tomorrow just to see what happens with that one. But yeah, good little find there. Good find so far. And then up next we have the GDX 98 call. Let's take a peek at that. So gold metals are going to be really interesting too with Warsh getting confirmed. Oh man. Somebody's taking a nap after the market today, I see. Yeah, a lot of this, I'm just kind of looking here. 5.7 kind of had your highest volume here, so let's just go back a little bit there. So 5.7 here, 5,100 contracts at the time. That was an opening trade. So it's a little muddy here. So you're seeing all these kind of big volume spikes in here. That 9,000 out of the 9,000 contracts traded that day, we had about 2/3 of that carryover there. So it's so 5,000. I'd assume our big whale's still in. Hard to tell. Let's just see. Oh, and it's a big multi-leg trade. Big multi-leg. So it looks like potentially rolled those down. And it's hard to tell, too, because there's... Oh, no, these are bigger than the open interest here. So let's just kind of do a little look there. Yeah, just kind of some odd little trades going on in here. Let's see. Let's pop this back. So they closed that 101. Trying to see where that 101 entered, though. That 101 was kind of sitting in there since 5.7. And I bet you anything that 5.7 is part of another multi-leg in here as well. So see, oh, look at that. Part of another multi-leg. Or actually, I think this is the same one. I think I clicked the same one there. I did. Yeah, yeah, part of a multi-leg. Part of a multi-leg, so I kind of tend to avoid that. I'm looking at these kind of volume spikes here too. Not the best feeling on that one there. Anything else for gold? Yeah, metals are going to be interesting too, especially if we get any news of a potential, rate cut after the data today and yesterday. I don't see one happening, but anything can happen. This one, so the GDX here, that 918 130, looked a little interesting here, but it looks like this is probably, so you got 5,000 there, then another 5,000 here. I would assume those two are related, and I bet you they are. So another multi-leg here. Messy multi-leg trades coming in here. You got some where that volume's not even close to that open interest, so yeah, a little muddy on that one too. Let's just see anything gamma. Actually, let's look at our full premium chart here. Yeah, not a ton there. Kind of some outflow there on gold there too. Interesting. Very interesting there. How about gamma? So positive gamma. Just kind of looking at that net gamma on the strikes. Again, it's just kind of all over. So we're trading at 96 right now. So, I mean, it does favor the upside. I mean, that 99.5 is your highest net gamma there on the call side of things. Puts, I mean, you got that 84. How about expirations here? Yeah, they like that short-dated expiration there, and this stuff is just derived from that open interest, so you get that update once a day, but these, that 618 expiration, yeah, there's not much. I mean, if you take out that 515 there, there's not a ton of net gamma either way. I mean, maybe that 618 expiration right there, but that's kind of about it. Let's see what that 618 looks like. 618 is the 100 strike, so I mean, we're trading at 96 right now, so we're right in here. So I mean, you're kind of between those. I mean, that net gamma does favor the upside. I'd say a little more than downside. Obviously, there is some downside there. Just not the best looking there overall. I'd say keep an eye on it. Metals are gonna kind of really rely on that dollar. Oh, those FRMIs are getting hit now more. Is that the oh, we're getting hit on that at 1120. Let me let's look at the 112010 calls here. Oh, that thing is just pumping 65% out of the money. So this for sure is an opener because we have 4,000 contracts coming against 2,100. 146.05. Yeah, that IV is dropping here. Interesting. I mean, doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. I like the way they're just smashing that there too. So another 2,000 here. 52. Like these look a little better here because you're seeing that IV pop there. Then these are very interesting here. So let me just kind of take that full FRMI here. Yeah, somebody likes FRMI. This is interesting. Like when I see the flow kind of like this, I kind of might disregard some of that IV popping around there because I mean the odds of all that being a sell probably unlikely. Again, earnings tomorrow. We'll look at that earnings move here. Let me just pop this in here though. More FRMIs. All right, I gotta pop this one out on there too. Earnings tomorrow though. Earnings tomorrow though. All right, let's just do this. I just want to pop this one out there too. All right, get Mr. Whale. Oop, not snore. All right, here we go. All right. All right, let's see what else is going on. So yeah, that GDX one there, just kind of a lot going on overall there. I'd probably kind of avoid maybe that one there, just with all that kind of going on there. The multi-leg stuff, you know how I feel about multi-leg. I'd rather find something that's a single leg. Obviously, it's already a 50-50 guess when you're guessing on flow there, but yeah, the multi-leg stuff makes it harder. So we are just kind of chopping in here. So we're just kind of chopping between here, just kind of as we thought here. So 15, yeah. So I mean, we'll see if we get anything here in the close. I mean, those call premiums are just flying still hitting the calls there too. I mean, let's just see. Not really anything there. Interesting. Yeah, market time doesn't really flinch that much more there. I mean, your net volume is still increasing there. That is just wild. Let's look at this on a 14-day kind of. Oof, yeah. They pretty big day there, at least on all premiums there. Out of the money, just kind of flat there though. Kind of flat. Let's just do one more check at that sector flow. Yeah, I mean, you see that volume so light there. I mean, that 30-day average has been dropping too. That's always of interest there to me. And we will see lower volume as we get into summer there. Summertime, a little lower volume. Yeah, those FRMIs, that is crazy. We're going to look at the earnings on that. That's what we're going to do. So, and it's a real estate too, so very interesting. Very interesting earnings. Oh, we don't have a lot of earnings data on this one, just two moves, and you're post earnings move, not very favorable there. Again, just not a ton of data on this one. Yeah, that post earnings move, not the best. Again, anything can happen. Anything can happen. That's just very unusual. I mean, this name does not get this much attention since back there on 422. I want to see what that 422 did. 422. So it looks like it was at 36 day 618. All right, let's go back here. So 422.82, 22, 102, 102. Most of that carried over. So this whale passed contracts out to somebody else that next day. You see that 72,000 contracts traded there on 423. Small drop in open interest. So again, if you're just looking at that open interest, you'd assume that whale's still in, but they handed those contracts off. Now, if that whale was still in or it was a potential add, that open interest would have went up, about 60K, 70K or so there. And if they closed fully, you'd see a big drop in that open interest. But yeah, this is an interesting one for sure. And then you got some volume there on the 24th and some dropping off there. So let's just kind of go up here and look. So what it looks like to me is our main whale here passed contracts off to somebody else. And then on 424, that 28,000, you had most of that drop off there. So maybe part of this closed that. Yeah, it's just kind of 72 plus 28, so about 100. So, I mean, yeah, it looks like that full position, somebody else probably has it there. So that's a little messier one. But, yeah, again, just kind of going off that open interest. It's good, but just kind of looking at that volume and open interest together makes a pretty big difference there. Any new thoughts on LYFT? Yeah, we can go back and look at LYFT there. We were looking, I don't know if you caught it in the pre-market there, but we were kind of slightly talking about it on Whale Watch there. Looked really interesting there. I'm not sure. I obviously, we're looking at a million contracts, but I don't know what LYFT is doing today. I maybe kind of down a bit. Yeah. 29. These not even so. I mean, not seeing anything bad in here at all. I mean, looks like our whale's still in most of their position there. I mean, a huge chunk of the position there. I'd say 90% there. That 1900 traded it open there. I mean, probably not related to that at all. I'd say check the open interest tomorrow, but barring any big candles coming in here in the last 30, I would I'd assume that will. So in the 36 days, let's just go look at a chart on this here. Where's my, I have my trading view open already. All right, let's do it like this, LYFT. Hello LYFT, I know you're there. Oh, okay. Anyways, let me just close this out. Pop this to that daily. How far were these out again? 36 days? Yeah, we'll start at the daily with these. So let's reset this. I mean, it looks like it's not at a bad spot. I do kind of see a little trend line kind of forming potentially in here. Maybe you got this as your trend right here. Maybe even squeeze in just a teeny bit more. Pop this right there. I'm going to pop this out just a teeny bit there. Maybe just a little bit more there. Yeah, I mean, it seems, I mean, you got a nice little uptrend going here. Pretty neutral on the RSI. Let's just see if we can kind of build out a little zone in here. I'm kind of see it right in here, and we will kind of move this up a little bit. kind of a big zone here. Let me just kind of tighten her up a little bit. See, just kind of get it right there. I mean, just kind of where we are. We're making lower or higher lows, so that's a good sign for the most part there. After that, at least there. I mean, here's your final low there, and then a little higher low there, higher low there. I'd look for maybe a higher low here as well too, which would kind of match with that flow there. We're sitting right there near that uptrend there. I mean, 13, 15-ish is your uptrend there. Let's look at this on the weekly. Clean up this old chart here. I mean, when you look at it on a weekly here, I'm going to redo it. I like to just kind of mess around with my lines there throughout different time frames there. So lift here, like on the weekly here, this looks a little better on the weekly for a bounce here. Here's your weak candle. You can see we're not really diving too deep there into the uptrend there. It seems like it wants to kind of bounce. I mean, you're starting to get a nice little buyback there. Is the dog snoring behind me? The dog is passed out behind me just snoring. Crazy. Yeah, I like this setup here and just kind of, I mean, again, it's not the cleanest looking one here, but you can see where we kind of bounce out of these zones a little bit there. I mean, that was a nice candle, but post earnings candle there. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, you're just kind of looking at that demand support zone there. I mean, bounce, little bounce, kind of a little drop, but recovery. That's where we failed. Again, those big moves are kind of that post earnings too, so kind of keep that in mind. Little retest there, drop, bounce, bounce. I mean, it favors bounces out of this area more so there. Big bounce after earnings, another big bounce. Yeah, it seems like that you only get your kind of move after earnings, and it just kind of trails along there. Little bounce out of there, retest, kind of just tried to bounce, and here we are. Yeah, if I was to take any of that lift there, I mean, you got time on them there. I like that weekly chart there. I'd probably put my risk, maybe about that 13.22 there. If we close below that uptrend there, it doesn't look like a bad setup there, especially if the market kind of keeps running a little bit there. How's Uber today? Uber's just kind of sitting no man's land too. Just adjust that a little bit on the weekly. Yeah, I mean, I almost like that lift chart just a little bit more because you're testing that uptrend there. Do we have anything else on lift? Why is that still up there? Okay, there we go. Okay, that's it for FRMI. All right, let's see if we got anything else for lift though. I do like that flow though, that 618, 16 call. Anything else for flow today? Volume. What's this 15 call? Let's see, 15 call. Here we go. So a lot of open interest on these already. Yeah, and this doesn't look like the best either. Yeah, 5,700 no side, probably a cross trade here. Cross trade, and it's a multi-leg with shares, so yeah, definitely nothing on that one to even be aware of. Let's just do one more quick glance here. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything new really on lift. Yeah, I do like that 16 call that we're originally looking at though. That looks pretty good. Oops, one more. Let's just go here. think we looked at this yesterday, but just again, yeah, positive, nice positive gamma there. That gamma again, it's on that heaviest is on that 1350 put there, so we're close to that. But again, your net gamma kind of there's more on that upside there. Yeah, a lot of heavy net gamma though, or net gamma on that put, the 13.5 put and the 12 put there. But again, just kind of there's more there. It's more scattered on this one. But yeah, your short-term expiration there with the net gamma, and then your 618 and your 115.27. So I'd say maybe short-term little bearishness there possibly. Premiums are up again today there. I mean, today's net call premium is bigger than yesterday's, so that's always of interest there to me. Yeah, good question. Good one to revisit there. So how about the TRGP 300 call? TRGP 300 call. Yeah, no problem. No problem at all. So this one, we've got 201 contracts coming against 21 open interest, so it's definitely an opening trade here. A little smaller whale, but let's just see what we got here. So typically when they come in like a block trade like that, I like to see that context around it. So this one we do have some context around it, which is good. That IV kind of drops when it comes in here. You see your price is up a little bit here. Spot is filling more on that ask side there. Again, it's not fully at the ask, but this is interesting. Let me see if I can find anything else on it there. Yeah, a lot of net call premium today. But you see it, like, again, this is kind of why I always tell people zoom out on the net premium chart too. Like, you look at this on a daily, you're like, whoa, this thing's getting a lot of net call premium. You zoom out and it's essentially, flat line throughout everything in here. Yeah, that 618 300 seems to be your biggest one on the day. So good find finding that one being the biggest there. What about that 515 240 call? Anything to do with this one? So 417. What was this? So we got 2 on 417. So most of that carried over there. Then you got 1600 on 421. So I wonder 532, 494. Yeah, this one not a clear explanation. I mean, most of that original stuff, the bid carried over. A big bid side candle there. You have 1680 here on the 21st. That did not carry over, so somebody passed a chunk of their contracts off to somebody else. Maybe closed up a handful of them too. Let's see, any other big spikes in there? Not really on that one. Let's do the 12/18th. I'm trying to find something with some time on it for you. So these started coming in end of March. So 800. See, not that full carryover from 326 to 327. It's just so 367. Yeah, they might have took some profits there. 432, and somebody else is holding some contracts there. 618. I'm just kind of looking for that high open interest. We already kind of looked at this guy. That put, so 1,000 there. That's been held this entire time. Let's just find that there. Oops. Let's go back 40. So all these look like they were short puts here. My guess would be short puts there. 491. They're trading at 32 cents. I would hope they're short puts there. And it looks like it's a multi-leg, and it looks like it's saying it's a bullish risk reversal. So those expire there. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything really new on that there. Somebody shared a 718-170 call. This is the one we just kind of looked at, I believe. Oh, the expired. Jeez. Let's see what we got for our gamma on it. So yeah, a lot of positive gamma there. Just market makers are adding liquidity there, so it's a good sign. Net gamma is heavy on that 260 expiration. We're right at that 260. Could see us kind of chop in this area. I mean, you got some positive gamma at that 240 there, and then that 270, a little at that 250. I think you might see a little kind of pullback there potentially. Yeah, that's all on that 515 expiration, that 518. Let me pop this back to that main kind of gamma chart here. Let's see if it even has anything on here. Let's see. Oop, not 1 week. I want to look at 1 day. So it's not going to show me any gamma profiles on this. Should have that on. I don't want to mess with it right now, but yeah, we should. It's just probably not. Oh yeah, not enough to. Okay, there we go. Not enough data to do that GEX profile on that one. I was just gonna try to show you guys on that chart where that positive gamma was on that. We could actually, let me go back to LYFT and show you there, not to keep hopping around, but like on LYFT here, so you can see. Let's pop this to the 1 day. You can see we're kind of just sitting here. I mean, that positive gamma is kind of up to the upside, and that is some of that negative gamma there. So I mean, it'll tend to kind of pull price in those directions. So heavy positive gamma is going to pull it up there. Some heavy negative gamma could pull it down there. We're sitting right on those negative gamma levels. So I mean, that 11 or probably the 12 strike there, that's kind of your bottom tick there. Everything else is just kind of up there more so. I mean, they've got some heavy high positive gamma up there compared to that negative gamma there. So that's kind of another double confirmation there. And this chart is essentially just this right here. It's just going to show you that. I like to just look at it with that price kind of mixed in with it, just see how price is bumping up against it. But yeah, TRGP, I'm not really seeing anything else on that one right now. This 200 that you sent today, though, definitely an opener there. Just not that full context there. I'd probably lean buy to open on those, just kind of based off of everything else that I'm seeing there for the most part. Yeah, not really seeing anything else on that name though. Not a name that I really trade that much either. I don't even know if I've ever traded. All right, let's do a quick look here at Periscope and Market Tide. So we're sitting again, just kind of bouncing between those positive gamma zones there. That 74.60 there is, it's wanting to test that there. But our positive gamma is at 74.50. So I mean, might see a little kind of pull back here. We got MLC here in a couple minutes, so hard to know. Market Tide bet hasn't even flinched. Yeah, Market Tide just slowly grinding that net. That net volume is just picking up on the call side there. I mean, I would not want to short this right now. I'll tell you that. Anything for ETF, bid side, yeah, a lot of slow bid side stuff today too. Thing new for this AXTI. Do we have earnings? No. What is this? 10% of the money 2 days. Kind of far out of the money for weeklies. You're gonna get a big theta hit there. I mean, look at your delta there. You're gonna get hit really high on theta. I would probably almost lean these are short here. Let's just look at them though. CI 203. I mean, they read as a buy there. I don't know if I'd want to do that though. I mean, you're kind of down a little bit on the day there. I mean, not seeing any call premiums to go with it. I mean, this is just one of those kind of risky trades where you have that high theta. You need a big move down quick. Let me just pop that in the profit calculator here. So like tomorrow is, so you'd probably need about a 2% move or so down to kind of see some profits on something like this. Um, yeah, I mean, and that's not saying that. Oh wait, that's tomorrow. Oops, excuse me. Yeah, probably about a 2.5% move. I mean, 14th is tomorrow, so you just kind of see how it decays. I mean, throughout the day there too. Just that's that high theta on that there. So I mean, you need a quick move on something like that. XTI. Anything else on it though? Yeah, not really a ton. Maybe that 522.75 put could be of interest there. I mean, 38% out of the money, 9 days out. Do have this here. I would want to double check that kind of open interest on this one. I mean, very similar sizing there. How's this one look here? 14. Yeah, I mean, and then you see your IV kind of decrease there. Yeah, I don't get the best feeling about that specific flow there. I mean, as we're kind of dumping right now there. I mean, that net volume is favoring the put side of things for sure. I'd just be a little cautious on that short dated stuff there. Is the entire market kind of dropping a little bit? Hey, we did. Hey, look at that. We kind of got that call out there a little bit. We were up at that 74.60 and kind of aimed down there a little bit, so that was good. Just that market tide wasn't looking that good there from that standpoint, but yeah, Periscope was kind of aiming at that 74.45, 74.50 there, and we are just chugging through it right now. Let's keep an eye on this there. Yeah, your call premiums are kind of dropping off fast here too. But no big sign in that put premium there. So like now, if I was brave here, I would scalp this there. Actually, you know what? Just because I'm on a fun account, why not? Let's take that little quick bounce here. Where's my MES? Uh, 1 minute. All right, here we go. Let's see if I can get a couple points. Where's my trade? Where's my trade? Where's my trade? Let me just double check it here, see where we are. All right, let's see. Maybe if I can get a little bit more in here first. Let's just trade that. All right, we're going. We're going. And again, this is the prop account, so don't tail anything here unless you're doing a prop account mess around here. I'm just messing around because I got screwed bad on something earlier, so we'll see. If we break below that 200, this is a very quick tight stop for me. I will absolutely get out here if we drop below this here. I'm just kind of looking for maybe a quick bounce up to here. We'll see. We'll see. It's kind of a little lotto there. We'll see what happens. I don't know if there was a news candle or something. Let's just see. Oh, we're dropping a little bit. I'm gonna let her play out just a couple seconds here. Where are we here? So okay, we flipped there. So okay, I like that flip up there. All that negative gamma dropped off there and it built up. I think we might pop here. I'm holding these. I'm holding these a little for a couple minutes here. We'll see. We'll see. I am gonna get ready to flatten just in case though. Ooh, there we go. We're getting a little bounce. Come on. Let's get back up to that 100-day. Let's just see. Any change in that tide? Call premiums are spiking a little bit there. I like seeing that. Just see if we can keep going up a little bit. There we go. Seeing a little bounce there. Let's get up a little bit more. Break that. Oop. Not the red candle I like seeing, but we are holding that 200-day. Keep an eye on it here. Yeah, it wants to hold. I like these wicks that we're getting here on the 1 minute. I mean, they're getting bought up quick. I am not setting a stop either, just because of what happened in the during the live stream there. Come on, let's get a nice little clean pop there. I'm just gonna maybe if I take it off flat because it was popping when we were off that there. Oh, little pop draw down there. Oh, we might drop a little bit here. All right. I'm holding this till we'll see what happens here. I mean, I'm interested to see because it's a lot of that negative gamma up at 74.55 there, a little at that 74.50. Again, if you're playing on a prop account, let things sit a little bit because you can be a little braver since it's not your money. Um, let's just see. Yeah, okay. We might end up cutting this here. Let me just see where we are. We'll see any change in that tide. Yeah, not really any big changes in that market tide. Call premium's kind of staying up there. Yeah, we'll see. And I typically don't trade during MOC there just because obviously you have different numbers coming in and trying to pair off orders, all that stuff. This was just kind of a, hey, let's mess around there. Let's mess around there. But I do like seeing that there. How's tomorrow's expiration kind of looking still? Well, they are kind of moving down a little bit for tomorrow. Well, we'll see. We'll see. But most of that is up there for tomorrow right now. We're not going to get a bounce. I bet you if I cut this, we'll get a bounce, though. If we break below these candles here, I will get out, though. I'm just going to be prepared to get out there. I don't want to set a limit. Oh. Ooh, we're getting close. We're getting close. If we break below it, I will get out. I mean, that's like earlier today. I mean, I missed that big run up just because a stupid wick got me out. 4 minutes here. Let's just see. There. We'll see. Hey, I'll take a nice big green candle up to here right now. I would not be mad about that. Let's just see if I can get out of these at break even here. Get back over that 200. Oh, wants to pop a little bit. Wants to pop a little bit. Get right. Oh, see, I go over to that flatten button and then it starts to drop and I stay away from it and it pops. If I go over here, go over my third screen. Let's see. Grueling 2 minutes here. Grueling 3 minutes here. And we're not going to get another update here either on Periscope because we're at the end of the day there. Ooh, those put premiums are those call premiums are I don't like seeing all those puts there. It's just we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's got 3 minutes to get a quick little, oof into the end of the day, but it doesn't seem like buyers want to step in here. We're just going to chop here. It's going to make me cut this for a small loss. That's not a huge loss, though, especially on futures. 259 will make our decision here. 259 will make the decision there. Just double check that tide. I mean, yeah, I like those wicks. I just wish we had a little more time in the day there. I mean, those nice little 1 minute wicks. I mean, they're buying that up there. It wants to pop, man. Come on. Just give me a quick little bounce up there. And see, this is the nice thing about futures, too. I'm still trying to get used to it, but there's no theta decay on them. I'm so used to just regular options contracts where there's theta decay on them. And I just can't get over that fact. Like, now if I'm in an actual options trade here, if I'm getting no movement in there, I'm definitely getting out quickly on something like that just because theta is going to eat them away quickly. But this is just up or down, essentially, which is really cool feature there. Let's see. All right, I'm just going to get ready to flatten this. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, come on. Just give me a little pop. Little pop. Oh, come on. Oh, it wants kind of. Oh. What a battle there in that 5 minutes there. Seller stepping in. Everything. Oh, okay. We might be cutting this for a small loss. Ooh. Yeah, we'll flatten that there. All right. Well, that's a little loss there, but oh, I actually did it. Give me a fill up there. Where did it give me that fill? 74.67. Oh, $4 or $5. Nah, not a huge loss. All right. Well, I thought I'd try to do it on live towards the end of the. I mean, good example there of why I don't like to trade during MOC. I mean, it looked like it may have wanted to bounce, but we didn't get it there. But all right, everybody, I'm gonna hop off here, and we will be back at it tomorrow. Oh, look at that. We're gonna actually get the little bounce there too. I'm gonna laugh if it bounces there. I'm hanging out here for 30 seconds. I want to see what this does. Watch it just. I'm gonna laugh so hard. That's just my luck. Yeah, and see, you know what? It's a prop account, so like I don't care. Like I understand. It's like it's oh it is gonna pop a little bit there. That's funny. Um, wow. Now it wants to kind of move up a little bit. Cool. Cool. Oh wow. There's my move. There's my move. My little teeny move. Jeez. Wow. Well, I mean the read was there. Look at that. Oh, and I would yeah. Oh, cool. That's the third time today where I got in and the stupid wit got me. Dang. All right, everybody. I'm gonna hop off. I will catch you all tomorrow, and we will be back at it again. See you then.